Hello, I'm Dr. Kristen Hansen, your professor for MUSC 1100 Music Appreciation. I'm going to introduce the course to you and tell you what you have ahead for you in this semester. So this is a fine arts course. The title seems to suggest that you must learn to appreciate music. But this semester we have some important tasks. We must learn first, what is music? And what does appreciation really mean? This course is not about me telling you a lot of dates and names and biographies. I'll do some of that. But it's about you interacting with the musical examples that I have and thinking about the world around you and your part in that world, especially related to music and how that ties into all the different facets of being human. Let me tell you a little bit more specifically about what I have in mind for this semester. First, we're going to start with an overview of the musical elements. What is music? How do we define it? Is there one definition? We'll also touch on things like the elements of music: melody, harmony, rhythm, texture, timbre, all of those things that you may say, I don't know anything about them. I'm not a musician. I mean, I am, but maybe you aren't. That's okay. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm the musician. I'm going to take you through all those things and show you different ways to listen to music you already know using those elements. We'll talk a little bit about instruments. We'll talk a little bit about how sound is made. That first unit of the course will also include a review of, and this doesn't sound musical at all, citations. I've found over the last few semesters that one of the things that people need help with when it comes to the end of the semester and writing a project, it's that work on citations. So we're going to take a little time to do that. If you're already good at it, this will be a piece of cake. If you've never done it or you're just not very good at it, I got you. After that first unit on the elements of music, we're going to turn to what some people would say is the traditional music appreciation course, and that's 5 weeks of an overview of what you would call classical music. We're going to call it art music in this course. There's a specific reason. You'll learn that reason when we get there. Now, that's the music that I, myself, as a horn player, an organist, and a singer, that's what I've been trained in. So this is music that is especially really important and enjoyable to me. It is certainly old music. We're going to start with music way back prior to 1400, and we're going to stop around 1900. You say, why would anybody listen to music that old? Well, some of us do. There are reasons of culture and history, and it gives us an aspect or a view of what were people thinking at those different times. How are we humans engaged historically with different ideas? Well, music can show us one of those things. So we're going to do some proper classical music. You may not enjoy all of it. It may be totally new to you, but again, that's why I'm here. I'm supposed to make this understandable for you, and I hope I have. The third part of the course is going to be, again, 5 weeks, never enough time, a history of music in America from 1900 onward that is specifically popular music as the history of rock. Now, you may say, I don't listen to rock, I don't like it, I listen to other things. Okay, yes, absolutely, but I would bet a Dunkin' Donut or a Krispy Kreme that the music you enjoy listening to has roots or ancestry or sideways relationships to the history of rock in America, because it is so foundational to all the popular music that surrounds us today. I won't be able to get up to the modern day. I mean, gosh, we're well into the 21st century and I only have 5 weeks, so I'm going to touch the 21st century. I'm going to go from 1900 to about the year 2000 and say, whew, that's all I can cram in. So we're going to visit the roots of American music We're going to start off with spiritual and blues and work song. We're going to go through rock and roll, a little bit of soul. We're going to head into progressive rock, and then the semester's over. But if I don't cover throughout this whole 15 weeks the kind of music that you really like to listen to, there's good news. The final project of this course is where you research the music that you really, really like. Or maybe it's music that you don't know anything about and you want to learn more about it. We'll get there. I'll explain what the final project is, but I just wanted to point out that the final activity of this course, the final project, is an extension of learning. So you can sit there for the whole 15 weeks and say, this isn't my music. And then you can show me what your favorite music is. There's a good chance it's music that I don't listen to regularly, and you can give me way more insight into it than I would on my own. So it's a continuous process, sharing music with each other, learning what that music tells us about each other as humans. Let me give you a few specific things about how the course is structured. That was all the content. Let's talk about the structure of the course. First, this course is asynchronous. That means there's no set class time, there's no required Zoom or chat meetings or anything like that. However, I do think it's easier for you to keep track of all the tasks and reading and listening that you need to do if I give you a schedule, which I want you to stick to. So you will find in Cougar View, for every module, that's like a chapter, every chapter module, you will find an organizer that tells you exactly what we're learning about, why you're learning it, and then exactly what you should do. I've even added in suggested days of the week for that particular week, so that if you are not the kind of person who can self-organize, you can look at it and say, okay, she says on Monday I have to do this, and on Tuesday I have to do that. Those are a little bit fluid. Obviously, if you have a super busy Monday and you plan to do a lot of your work on Tuesday and Thursday, all your classwork, great, that's fine. The things that are more set in stone are quiz dates, assignments, discussion posts, because those things, you need to progress through them regularly so that I know you're learning and I understand that you are understanding. And things like discussion posts, we all kind of have to post at the same time, otherwise, how do we discuss? That said, I have learned over the last 4 years, especially through pandemic and the aftermath thereof, that if something really unexpected comes up for you, something you didn't expect, and you can't, you say, I either do your coursework or I do this other really important thing in my life. Sometimes there are more important things than turning in a quiz. So, check with me. If something comes up unexpectedly, let's talk about it. How do we talk about it? I don't live in Columbus. I live actually near Nashville in Tennessee now. So I'm not on the CSU campus. Email me. Start with an email. If we then need to have a Zoom or a chat, whatever, or a phone call, or maybe texts are not as good for important things, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so start with an email to me at my CSU email. What else did I want to say about that? So stick to my due dates whenever you can. Plan ahead. Say you are a busy nursing major and you've got a lot of things on your plate. Or you are on an athletic team and say you're on the track team, you've got a ton of meets. Plan ahead. All of my course is scheduled out so you can see when things are due. It might mean that you have to do things ahead of their due dates a little bit early. Is it okay with me if you work far ahead? Absolutely. Totally okay with me. You just have to be patient because I might not grade super far ahead. That's another reason I like due dates. It helps me organize my grading schedule. So the course is asynchronous. There is no required external textbook. Everything you need, you find it in Cougar View. We will use to enhance our learning a couple of external apps. One is called Padlet and the other is called Genially. They're both learning tools, but I have paid for them. You do not have to pay for them. All you have to do is use them as directed. And again, the instructions will be where? In Cougar View.